I think that they went after me so hard in order to send a message to everyone else.
Of course they did.
Because I saw it in my residency, right? The other people who thought this was awful, we actually had to meet in dark corners. We knew that we couldn't say anything publicly.
And that's the point. It's to chill anyone else from stepping forward.
But they came after me, right, to make my life miserable. We're going to make their life miserable.
Dr. Haim, on June 23rd, 2023, you get a letter from the United States Department of Justice, Southern District of Texas. Probably a day probably a letter that probably ruined your whole day, right?
Well, so the agents came, this was a few hours before I was graduating from surgical residency. The ceremony was later that evening. I was meeting with my parents, my sister, I was going with my wife. And so when the agents came, I refused to speak with them. My wife had advised me to, not speak with them without an attorney present. But, we knew that it was so corrupt what they were doing that there was a certain sense of defiance. So, we kind of celebrated this new part of our life. It was kind of a hard thing to describe, but something kind of came over us.
First two sentences, this office is involved in investigation dealing with federal law violations. You are a potential target in this criminal investigation. So you didn't want to talk to these guys. You listened to your wife, which was good counsel and good advice, and good that you did that. But you did go get an attorney, and you got the guy sitting beside you. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
And Mr. Lytle, when you understood what was going on here, you contacted, just like you would as an attorney, you contacted the Southern District of Texas. You contacted the lady who signed this, the Assistant U.S. Attorney. Is that right?
Yes, I did.
Tell me about that conversation.
Well, I reached out to her, as a defense attorney would always do when there's a target letter out there, because that could mean that they're going to charge the person right away. That's under department policies. That means they believe he's a putative defendant.
Yeah, normally that means they think they got a slam dunk case on this guy, right?
That's right.
Yeah, and they're gonna negotiate some guilty plea. And you reach out to her, and what'd she say? Did she know anything about the case?
She didn't know anything about the case. She had to talk to the agents, and she'd get back to me when she knew more about the
She signed the target letter, and she didn't know what the target was about.
That's my understanding.
Well, that was great. So then you had subsequent conversations, and I understand in one of these conversations that happened after you learned she didn't know what the heck was going on, even though she signed the letter that ruined his day, the day he's graduating from medical school. You have subsequent conversations, and she says, well, maybe he isn't a target. Maybe if he'd come apologize and say, pretty please, we'd downgrade it to a misdemeanor. Is that right?
That's true. She sort of was a wink and a nod, like maybe we can pretend he's not a target. And I said that train's kind of left the station, and there's been emails with her calling him a target to me. And I said, I just can't do that, but why can't we talk about the case? And she still didn't know the facts of the case. She wanted to dead set to be interviewing Dr. Haim, which I didn't want to do that as a lawyer because I didn't want to reveal. I didn't know what she was getting at.
And so they wind up charging him with the maximum, like 10 years, I think you said, the maximum they could charge. And they were so determined to get Dr. Haim, she was so determined to get Dr. Haim, even though he didn't violate HIPAA, didn't do anything wrong, that she not only threatened him, come talk to me, apologize, say pretty please, we'll make it a misdemeanor, she also went after your wife. She also went after Dr. Haim's wife. Is that right, Mr. Lytle?
That's right. She alluded that she would not make any comments, or her agents make any comments about the background investigators for Dr. Haim's wife, as she's a new AUSA being hired, unless she became difficult. And I didn't really know what that meant, but I took it to being a retaliatory phrase, that if she's going to be involved in this, then there's going to be something that's going to come for her too.
Well, what's she supposed to do? She's a lawyer. She's married to married to Dr. Haim. She's not supposed to give him advice or counsel or talk to him?
This whole thing, any kind of HIPAA as a criminal case is so rare in this country. It's rarely ever prosecuted. But then in this context of this political debate going on, to come forward and charge Dr. Haim, it seemed just really out of control. It really was surprising to me to see this kind of a charge.
I think begs the question, why did they do it? Why did they do it? I mean, this seems so ridiculous. Why this behavior? Why do you think they did it, Dr. Lytle, or maybe Dr. Haim, or maybe even Ms. Sivadge?
I can say that we found a lot of bias, a lot of conflicts of interest, a lot of connections to the hospital, and a closeness to these families. But at the end of the day, if there was any kind of issue, it shouldn't be handled in the criminal courts. It should be handled in the public arena, in the public debate.
Yeah. Doctor?
I think that they went after me so hard in order to send a message to everyone else.
Of course they did.
Because I saw it in my residency, right? The other people who thought this was awful, we actually had to meet in dark corners. We knew that we couldn't say anything publicly.
And that's the point. It's to chill anyone else from stepping forward. It's why they went and raid Mark Houck's house with all these agents. It's why they'd send multiple agents to the ATF goes into Brian Malinowski's house and he ends up getting shot. They thought he had like 6 gun violations. It's why they do it. It's to chill anyone else from coming forward. We will make life miserable for you, miserable for Ms. Sivadge. We will do that because we don't want anyone else threatening the left's position. And that is the frightening thing.
And I'll say one more.
And I'll just say this and I'll let you finish. God bless you for doing it. God bless you for doing it. And Mr. Lytle for defending you. Thanks for stepping forward, having the courage to do so.
And I'll say one more thing, right? They came after me in order to make my life miserable, in order to send a message. But they came after me, right, to make my life miserable. We're going to make their life miserable. All right, that's what we're going to do.